So in my previous video, I indicated that we are moving from Mexico, leaving Merida, probably sometime in September, a couple of months from now. And I guess it came off as a shock to many, a surprise. And of course, a lot of people had a lot of questions, received a lot of emails, a lot of phone calls, a lot of texting. And so I was going through the comments and figured, why not go through the comments and just answer many of the questions and some conspiracies as well. So I guess I'll just get started. Don't want to drag this out. One person indicated almost every single person I watch on YouTube that has moved from the United States to Merida leaves eventually. Not sure if it's due to opportunities that have opened up because of the YouTube or the oppressive heat. Either way, congratulations and looking forward to seeing where you land next. You know, honestly, statistics indicate that whatever country a person goes to, and it's not just Merida, most people tend to leave after a certain period of time and return back to the United States. In our case, we're not going back to the U.S., but many people leave for various reasons. They miss home. They have grandkids now that have now entered the picture, and their grandparents, and they want to be closer to the baby. One of the other biggest reasons are health issues, and like I say, just homesick. Some people just can't really adapt and make this work, and so they generally leave. And the other big reason is finances. And for us, as I mentioned in the previous video, it was really never our intention to stay in one place long. It kind of happened after we arrived here. Everybody started getting sick. Haley was eventually, sooner diagnosed with schizophrenia, and it took about 18 months, 2 years to get that under control and find the right combination of medicines that worked. And so we kind of got stuck. The plan would move abroad and thrive, from the beginning, was to travel abroad to multiple countries, and then highlight and document those countries where income goes, the US dollar goes further, and where you can get more for your money, and find out the immigration process for becoming an immigrant in these various countries. And so the goal was just to document and highlight so that people can have a choice and have information so they can decide if they want to go to said place. And so after being here for 5 years, and yes, we talked a lot about this being our forever home, and that's not completely out the window yet, because we do own some land. People ask, well, what are you going to do with your land? Well, we're going to keep the land. We're making payments on the land. And one particular land that we have near Telchock Beach Town is not even going to be developed out, the community, for like another 3 to 4 years before anything is really going to be built out and ready. So, so we're making our monthly payments, and we'll continue to do that. And it's something that we'll eventually own once it's paid off and all of that. So that doesn't go anywhere just because we move. And so so that was the game plan. The game plan was to travel. And like I said, we kind of got stuck and held up in a holding pattern. And recently we just decided that, you know what, let's resume the original plan. Let's travel some more. Kids will probably be running off on their own in another year or two. And so let's just travel around and see, because that was the purpose. The purpose was to give them exposure to other countries and cultures and languages as well. And so we're just kind of going back to that route. Now, is it hot here? Absolutely. I mean, every single year I complain about the heat. I'm like, why am I putting myself through this and torturing myself with this heat? But Merida is a beautiful place, and I have seen and I have noticed that other social media influencers have recently made announcements where they themselves are packing it up and going home, and some of those are doing it for their business. They felt that their opportunities here were kind of limited, and and as an entrepreneur, you adapt, you go with the flow, you pivot, and many of us get the idea that, hey, I can work in this country, I can work in that country, and we get there and it may work out and it may not, and we pivot, we keep it moving. So that's, I don't know about everybody else, but that's our plan. So Move Abroad and Thrive, the company, the website will still remain. The resources that we have for Mexico will remain. The contact will remain. Because again, the site was never called Move to Mexico and Thrive. It was called Move Abroad and Thrive. So we'll chronicle different countries. So, for example, this would be the first place. Mexico will have its own category on the page, on the website, and then whichever country we go to next, let's say if it's Paraguay or Paraguay, it will have their own section. If we go to Brazil, it's going to have their own section. Argentina is going to have its own section. Brussels will have its own place. So that's the whole point of the site. Now, I've gotten a lot of messages, personal messages from people saying, hey man, we moved down there and you got us down here, and now you about to leave. You did that in Colombia. You get everybody excited and then you take off. Listen, if your reason for coming here was because I was living here, your reasoning was wrong from the beginning. Let's just put that out there. Your logic and your thinking is flawed. The purpose of us sharing content is to document and highlight and show what life is like, so that other people who are considering a move to another country, they can take that information and make a decision on whether or not a particular place is for them. It has nothing to do with me being here and holding me accountable for trying to hold me accountable for leaving because you got here. Crazy. You know what I mean? That's the purpose. You move here because you want to move here. You got to have a reason. And one of the things that we always emphasize in many of the videos is you need to have a real solid why for why you leaving and moving to a foreign country, because it's not easy. It's a difficult transition. Moving abroad and staying abroad, two totally different things. So many people come and they return home months later. I've seen some return days later, and a lot of these folks have sold everything they own and they leave weeks later. You gotta have a solid reason, and if your reason is because, hey, this guy is over there, then I'm gonna hook up with him and hang out with him, and all is gonna be well in the world. No, most of the people, the overwhelming majority of people that have made this move here, have come and made their own lives, made their own friends, made their own connections. And most of the time, many of the people that move here, I've never spoken to them. I never met up with them. I never, many folks I don't even know are here. I run into so many people in the streets all the time. Thank you, Cartez, for your videos and your content. It played a very big role in us making this move. It was very helpful, very useful. And that's the purpose of the content. You know what I mean? To make it useful for people who want to make some decisions and see what it's like. And so that's the goal. So if you're moving down here because of somebody, you got it backwards. And whatever place we go to next, it's going to be the same thing. we're going to talk about it. We're going to highlight it. We're going to talk about the pros and the cons, because we talked about the pros and the cons. I've talked about how great Merida is, and we've also spoken to some of the hardships it is living here and adapting to a place where you can't speak the language if you don't speak the language, and how challenging that can be, and how the heat is, and how some of the cultural differences here can drive one insane, and how sometimes you just got to kind of back away and leave some of your old thinking ways back at the border before you come here, and so that you can kind of start to assimilate here in the local culture. So it's a process. So I just wanted to emphasize that. So but what happened with the property you bought or were about to buy? Either way, there's nothing like traveling the world, and I think I've just answered that already. Thank you for sharing your life in Mexico. Any reasons for leaving Merida? And again, I just mentioned it. Merida is a beautiful place, and if you've never been out the country before, I would highly recommend this city as your first place. It will allow you the opportunity to kind of get your feet wet. It's a soft landing spot where you can try some things out. If things don't work out, you're only a couple hours away by plane back to the United States, and you can hop back in your car or plane and go back. And the city is very, very, very safe for men, women, for everybody. So there is not a reason not to come. Now, I will tell you, the heat is hot, and there's no downplaying that. But for the 5 years that we were here, we wasn't going to let the heat run us off. And honestly, like I say, our plans simply have changed. Simple as that. We adapt. We go with the flow. We groove, and most likely, or I'm not going to say most likely, is likely that we will definitely be returning, and that's if we don't find somewhere else that we like. There are so many places and so many options, and we haven't even scratched the surface. And that's what we want to do. We want to go see what else is out there. You know what I mean? While we're still able to. And so that's the plan. Plans change, ours changed. And yes, I know we were talking about buying and building, and thankfully we haven't did that yet. Kim's recent surgery, I've had surgery twice. Haley's had surgery, but the most recent surgery, you gotta put some things into perspective. It's like, man, get out here and enjoy some things while we're able, and not wait till it's too late. I see so many people come here, and they're much older, and their health is not with them. So they're not able to kind of get out and about and do the things that they would really want to do. And so, like I say, we want to kind of get out there and do some things before we're limited in what we can do. Somebody says not buy in terms like don't buy, just rent around the world, fly like a bird. That is what I'm doing. Spain is nice. Hey, Cartez, you may look at Panama as well. It's pretty reasonable living. Good for y'all. We will be leaving Merida soon. Keep enjoying life and the universe. A lot of people operate on fear and are afraid to go anywhere. They give excuses of why it's better where they are, while they have never been away anywhere to know. Continue to enjoy traveling, meeting people, and most of all, peace of mind. Many blessings to you and your family. And that's the real thing. I mean, after being here, and if I'm honest, I'll say we got very comfortable. After the first couple of years, we just got comfortable. And it was easier to stay put versus getting back out there. And so sometimes, there's a danger in being in a comfort zone. And for us, it was like, you know what, man, let's push outside of this comfort zone and let's get back on track. Let's go do some things. We can buy a house anytime when it's time. Then we can just sit down and try and make it happen. And I do realize I am getting older, and that's something I need to get factored in. Picking a place from where we'll build a home, and so that we'll have a home base. And I got to think that through as I'm getting older again. And again, might like someplace else, might find a place better that we like, and who knows? I ain't gonna lie, I am looking forward to getting away from this heat. So that is a bonus, you know what I'm saying? But like I say, make this your first stop if you've never been out the country. It's a great soft landing space for you. I'm sorry to see you leave Merida. I've been following you for quite some time. We spent 2 weeks in Merida. The heat index was off the chart. I will continue to follow you and your family. Have travel blessings. And like I say, we'll continue to update and document wherever we are. That's not going to change. And if the place that we go to is a beautiful place and it's an excellent place with great value and great culture and great people, we're going to hype it up the same way. And if it's not any good, we're going to say that as well. No holds barred. We're not going to hold back. I would love to see you and your family in Paraguay. I need to find out how to pronounce it. Paraguay. I need to learn. They're the young Australian traveling through South America in tuk-tuk. I watched all his episodes traveling through Paraguay. It was amazing. He had some motor issues and ended up spending some time. The people were lovely, and he ended up really loving it. Might provide another point of view. I lived in Peru. If I needed to leave, I would check Paraguay out first. From what I'm seeing on Paraguay, and right now that's at the top of our list. That could change. I wouldn't rely on much of anything we say right now so early in the stage while we're investigating some places. From what I've seen, it's a very beautiful place, very modern. People talk about the heat. I doubt there's any place hotter than this place here in Merida on the South American continent. South American continent. I don't know. The heat ain't. If you're telling me Paraguay is hot, that is not a negative issue, because, like I say, we dealt with that here for 5 years. Now, ideally, I hope it's not as hot, but they have all 4 seasons, from what I understand: fall, winter, rainy season. They do have a rainy season. I think it's winter time now, if I'm not mistaken, believe it or not. And it doesn't get hot. It doesn't stay hot that as long as it does here in Merida. I think it stays hot for like 2 months. I think the highest is like on 90 on average, but every night it's like in the 60s and 70s. And again, it's only like a couple of months that it's hot. If you and your family do tour Paraguay, will you consider visiting these areas to relocate? San Bernardino on the shores of Lake, I don't even know how to say that, Encarnacion, that's one of the places we're looking at. Luku, and I don't even know how to pronounce that. But I will look into those. Thanks for the tips. What happened to all the property? That seemed to be a common thing. How to move your hustle, the game. Safe travels. Hey, Malika, that's my girl there. She said, hey, y'all, glad to hear you guys are planning to explore and see what else is out there. Best wishes. I hope you're doing well. She loves Southeast Asia. This lady loves Southeast Asia. If that flight wasn't so like 30 hours. Man, I might consider going, and we probably will eventually go further out at some point. Um, but like I say, we're still exploring. Like I say, there's a lot of places. There is a lot of places. I will be tuned in to see where you all end up. Best wishes, incredible news, wishing you all the best. I'm just scrolling through. I've been in Jalisco, Mexico for 8 years. 2 years ago, we went to Paraguay and got our temporary residency and heading back to get our permanent next week. Also built a house there. Message me anytime if I can help at all. Happy travels. Hey, I most likely will be reaching out. Thank you so much. Damn, I'm a little sad to hear, but glad you all are about to hit the road. Paraguay has been on my radar for years. I heard it's a damn snooze fest though. The Wi-Fi is supposed to be strong and it would be nice to be on the border of Brazil. My youngest one wants to hit up Brazil. She's been talking about it, and it does border Brazil, and it also borders Argentina as well. So give us some options to hit a couple of places at the same time due to the proximity as well. Thank you for helping us start on our Merida journey. We appreciate everything. Many blessings. I think it's great that you are going to explore. There are a lot of countries that are more affordable than Mexico. Really like your channel. It's very hot. Merida is very hot. Leaving Mexico doesn't mean a person doesn't love Mexico or can't afford Mexico. Of course you love Mexico and couldn't afford it, like myself, but going other places can be fun too and utilize one's money too. You tell it real. I'm going to keep following your channel wherever you go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And like I say, you know, just because we're leaving doesn't mean we don't like the place. It's nothing at all about the place that is making us leave. I just want to overemphasize that. Let's see. My husband and I enjoy your videos and look forward to experience your new adventures. You had a large influence on our move to Merida and our 6-month trip to Querétaro. We love Mexico. Thank you. This hurts my soul. Please explain to me why this hurts your soul. I'm just curious. We're just trying something different. That's all. Come to Rwanda. You will love it. Do the research. And you have a friend here. I've heard a lot about Rwanda and how clean it is and how nice and beautiful it is. I mean, we got people all over the world sharing their experiences. You know, someone says probably because their children are now reaching adult age and they must qualify financially for their residency. Good luck to you all wherever you go. Well, actually, so we qualify for permanent residency next year, January 2027. We all have temporary residency. So they got their residency under mine. So in January, when I roll into permanent residency, they will also automatically roll over into permanent residency. So they won't have to meet any financial qualifications or anything. They now will be permanent residents of Mexico for the rest of their life. So that is at least a gift that we can give them. If they decide they want to live in Mexico permanently, they got status here. So that was a plus. Paraguay also has very easy residency status, and from my understanding, you can hit up citizenship in as little as 2 years. Very easy. The financial requirements are much, much less than Mexico. And look into Paraguay. Just look at it. I'm not saying go, because like I said, while it's on our list, it doesn't necessarily mean we're going there first. But look into it if you don't meet the financial requirements of to meet the residency requirements for Mexico. And look at the videos, look at the city, look at the places, the apartments and the homes, and look at the infrastructure. I think you're going to be very surprised. It is a very modern city, and it is even cheaper than Mexico, I believe, by like 30%. And depending on the cities in Paraguay that you go to, you can probably get even cheaper. And so, and again, it's really not about trying to find the cheapest place. The goal is trying to find a place that is a quality place, like Merida. Merida is a very quality city, very amazing infrastructure, amazing things to do, amenities, shopping, very modern, etc., etc. Love your content. Started to watch your channel in Colombia. Keep inspiring. And so it's time to move abroad and thrive again, huh? Good for you. 5 years is a long time to live in one place. Explore the world and make it yours. Visit all of the places on your list, 1 to 3 months in each location, so you can really get a feel for world living. I look forward to seeing your journey continue to unfold. I agree 100%. We only have one life to live, and unfortunately many of us will never experience this. So sad to see you leave Merida. However, the most important thing is you were together as a family and you're moving together. Just scanning through. Safe travels to you and your family. Thank you, Miss Valerie. Argentina. Hey, Curtis, it's funny to say that you guys are looking at Paraguay. We've given up going to Mexico. We are 99% headed to Paraguay in the summer anyways. The advantages, the residency is very, very easy as long as you have a clean background. And 2, you don't pay taxes on any money that comes out of Paraguay. And if you make money inside of Paraguay, you only pay 10% taxes anyways. Maybe we'll see each other. A lot of people look like they're already in route there, in already had plans to go. Pray for direction. And somebody is suggesting Thailand and Vietnam. Somebody is talking about Ecuador. Enjoy your life. Belize is another recommendation. I'm in Mexico permanently, bought my house since my wife is from Guadalajara, but as a Navy vet, I want to move my kids to Thailand or someplace else for a few years, possibly longer. They can always return to Mexico if they want. Good luck. It does take a lot of courage to pack up and leave. And, you know, and like you said, traveling, our kids will have permanent residency status. They're more than welcome to come back and stay and live their life. And we are nervous about going somewhere new. You know, the same initial fears and concerns that one have about going to a new place, what it's going to be like, is it going to be this or that. So we got the little butterflies and again, looking at a variety of places, saying we're going to do this place and then changing our mind and say, no, let's go here, no, let's go here. And, you know, we're willing to fly further out now instead of limiting our travel time to just a few hours, you know, so it's exciting and scary at the same time. Someone else says, congratulations, Paraguay was always on my list. And to hear you're considering going there, so awesome. Maybe we run into you all there. I have enjoyed your content for many years, but this seems to always happen. I now wonder if moving versus bopping is best. I'd say pick a place, go, and if you like it, stay for as long as you like, or stay and then go travel to multiple places, or just bounce around. There's no rule to say how long you got to stay. Come to Merida, maybe you stay for 6 months and then you leave. Maybe you stay for 3 years and then you leave. Maybe you stay for a month and then you go. Your rules, your way, what works best for you. I wouldn't tie yourself up, lock yourself up in a box. And I think that's what we did. Like I said, got comfortable, just got, we found it got comfortable. And it was difficult to break up the routine and the pattern to go start and go somewhere new. So we just day by day, stayed in it. So I'd say do you, and don't feel like you have to lock yourself into a box. If you go somewhere and you don't like it, turn around and leave. We did that when we went to Canada. I had every intention, did the research, discovered that Quebec, the province of Quebec, was the cheapest province in all of Canada. So Montreal was cheaper than many of the other places throughout Canada. Canada is expensive. So we was like, let's move to Canada. We'll try it out for a year. And Montreal, that's where we went, and rented this beautiful place. And I think I got some original videos of that. And this was a long time ago. And we drove to Canada from Atlanta, and that was a road trip to remember. We got there. I think Kim and Haley was sick, and so me and Charlie were just kind of hitting the streets, checking the place out, and I just felt that the people were so rude and snobbish. And all right, sorry about that. My memory was full. But yeah, so I felt the people were snobbish. I felt they were rude. And a lot of people, in hindsight, a lot of people talked about the people in Montreal. They speak French over there in that province. And so a lot of people say if you didn't speak French, people kind of look down on you and whatnot. And so, of course, I didn't speak no French. And, but I tried to speak some French. Oui, bonjour. Oui, bonjour. But I got frustrated. I was like, okay, so we had rented this place, signed a lease and everything. And I came, after me and Charlie went out for a few days and came back to the house to kind of report on it. Like, man, we got there like on a Saturday. We got there on a Sunday. We got there on a Sunday morning or Sunday night. And Thursday night, I walked in the house that we was living in. And I was like, man, pack up. We getting the hell up out of this camp. And what about the lease? Man, they can have my deposits. I'm canceling this thing. I'm out of here. They can have the money. I ain't spending one dime more in this place. And we left in that day. You know what I'm saying? So, said all that to say, you don't have to stay where you don't want to stay. You can just go. And so shortly after that, we drove around. I was broadcasting this on my channel back then. I had another channel. I was broadcasting our travels to Canada. And one of my cousins I never met before, she was like, hey, I'm in Detroit, come through. Cause we left Montreal, went to go check out Toronto, cause my brother was telling me, man, don't leave Canada without trying some of the other cities. All of Canada is not like that. Montreal is different. They different over there. And so we went to Toronto. Beautiful city. Oh my God, that place was gorgeous and expensive as heck. And so we got a hotel. Stayed there for a short spell. Had to leave there because we couldn't find no Airbnbs. There was a big film festival going on, so we couldn't find all the Airbnbs, and all the hotels were all booked up. The only things that were available were these high-priced, high-end places where you had to spend a lot of money. I think we was already spending like $350, $395 a night just on a hotel. And so I was like, can't do that too long, bleeding cash. And so while I was in Toronto, my cousin called and said, hey man, we're pretty close. We're not too far. You can cut across and come stay with us for a while. She had a farm and nice home. And so we went on over there, cousin Norma. Some of y'all might remember Norma. And we stayed with her for a few weeks. And then I stopped by another spot, a friend of mine from the Air Force, from my old military days, and stayed with them for a minute. And then we made our way back to Georgia, stayed about a week, I believe. And then from that point, we decided, you know what, let's go to Colombia, South America. And we went there, stayed there for about almost a year. So you just got to do what works for you. And you don't owe nobody an explanation. If you go somewhere that don't turn out to be what you wanted it to be or thought it was going to be, you can go. You don't have to explain anything. You could change your mind. You could do all of that. You know what I mean? So yeah, go do that. Go check the world. Somebody recommending Natal, Brazil. Sad to hear you guys are leaving. Your videos and guidance were a big help with planning our move here. Wishing you all the best. Thank you. I have Panama and Mexican 4-year residency and now traveling through Costa Rica, which I love. I don't know where I should go next. Back to Mexico, but where? Or back to Panama, maybe David, which is close to Costa Rica, a country I love. I need to look into Paraguay. Hey, that's somebody that's on a mission and they doing it. That's what I'm talking about. Someone says Paraguay is expensive and not as much social life, but enjoy. Yeah, we're boring kind of folk. You know what I'm saying? This is so wild. My family and I just made it to Monterey to complete our Conhe, and now my family is leaving. I already knew Mexico would not be our permanent home, but just to stop through for a while until God moved us to the next place. So sad to see your journey end, but yet excited for another journey to begin. What about Belize? Thank you, Cortez and family. Your videos have opened the minds of many that it's possible to live abroad and really thrive. Hey, thank you. I hear Belize is nice. Someone else is asking, but why? I think I've explained it so far. You should check into Peru. And that's on a short list as well. Check out Bolivia or Nicaragua. You got this. Have you explored other places in Mexico? We have not, other than Querétaro. Wasn't there long. May God bless you wherever you go. I'm just looking to see if anybody had other questions. Kim liked Medellin. Y'all, she love her some Medellin. Thailand is calling you guys. I have a girlfriend that has overstayed her visa a couple of months now. Do you think they would charge her too much for all that overstayed time? No, they won't. It'd probably be less than $30. Not expensive at all. Sorry to see you go. What other channel is now saying not to come to Mexico or move out of Mexico? I don't know. Boom, 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 boom. I've been following you since you've been in Merida. I came to complete my permanent residency. I'm currently in Guadalajara. After being in San Miguel, I'm too getting restless here. Would love to move to Thailand, but too far from my mom and daughters. I wish you all the best. Thank you. Panama's best for permanent residency. And again, for those of you all that do not financially qualify for residency here in Mexico, check out the other places. There are other places where you qualify. You just got to dig deep and kind of do the research, which is one of the reasons why we're continuing this journey to help get some of that information out there. We all made the decision to take a job that we probably didn't really want to begin with. We all chose to get in debt. We all make choices. So now why not try living the, if it's to be, it's up to me. Amen. Spain gives you a lot more options, all kinds of climate. Blah, blah, blah. So, boom, boom, boom. Here, El Salvador, super safe and less expensive 10-year residency. Mr. Cortez is about to find the next gem. See. Go to Thailand. I think Paraguay would be interesting for an international audience, good for YouTube and affordable. Spain is great, but less exotic for European viewers. It is great to own property, in my opinion, but to rent it is not cheap. Maybe some hidden gems around Costa del Sol. Also high taxes, but quality of life can be very good. Also, Spanish people tend to be friendly. Merida has gotten so expensive compared to before. I was there for a month in February and was shocked. Yeah, it has getting, the cost of living here has gone up tremendously. Very much. Why are you leaving? You said you loved Mexico, and I still do. I still love Mexico. That hasn't changed. Man, now that makes two content creators saying no to Mexico. I'm not saying no to Mexico. I'm just saying, like somebody says, not saying no to Mexico, just saying yes to more exploring, expanding, and experiences. Yeah, I mean, that's we've been here for 5 years. You know what I mean? 5 years in June. That's a long time. That's and have enjoyed all of it. You know, enjoyed the time here. No regrets, none. You know, just want to go see and try some other new things. Blah, blah, blah. Somebody said, sorry to hear you are returning to the U.S. This is not a great time. No, we're not returning to the U.S. I'm stopping in the U.S. to go check on my mom, but that's it. We ain't staying in the U.S. No, yeah, we're going to check on her for a minute and then be on our way. Or we may go to the destination first and then go to the United States. Haven't decided that yet. The move. So this lady says the move abroad media ruined things for everyone by enticing everyone and their mama to move. Now all the expat places are oversaturated and overpriced. Mexico is over. You're going to ruin Paraguay too if you don't stay off of the damn internet. And then my response to her was, I suggest you stop watching and engaging with our content. You're actually helping us. It amazes me how small-minded people are. In her mind, or his mind, I don't know, I think it's a she, Rosemary. In her mind, Mexico is over. because in her mind it's overpriced, it's oversaturated, and now she can't move to Mexico. Her dream is over. There are so many places in Mexico that have been unexplored, untapped, where the cost of living is super affordable, and you can get more value, have a more authentic experience, and be fully immersed in the culture. But nobody wants to do the work to go find these places. You know what I mean? In her mind, it's over just because social media has allowed people to find places much easier. People talk about these places and then people go visit. It's a win-win. Mexico, a lot of the money that Mexico gets comes from tourism. And tourism dollars helps locals. It keeps people employed. It keeps people working. Allows local folks to start their own businesses and service to be a service to others, etc., etc. It's amazing that people would want to keep a society or a city from reaping some of these benefits from tourism, because she feels as though, and it's not just Mexico, this is happening all over the world. You know what I mean? It's a win-win. And it's almost like technology. People complain about technology coming in, taking people's jobs, but technology is very much necessary for the world to operate and work in the manner that we need it to. And for many places, tourism is a very big thing. And so you're going to ruin Paraguay if you don't stay off the damn internet. And she probably wasn't going to either one of these places. Just running them chops, you know what I'm saying, complaining. Whatever you focus on, whatever your imagination is what you believe. You know what I mean? If you believe it's bad, then in your mind it's bad. If you believe, you know, so you got to be careful what you think. And you also got to be careful about the people that you associate with. Try Argentina, Chile, Brazil, El Salvador, Vietnam, Belize, Liberia, Ghana, Peru, Ecuador, Uruguay. Mexico is overrated. Always rent, never buy property as a foreigner overseas. For something different, take a relocation cruise. Albania for Europe. Try Turkey, Malta, Cyprus. Now, this person seems like they've been around the world. They've been some places. Go somewhere where English is spoken. We've been investigating that as well. If only there wasn't the issues of residency. Imagine if you could just pick up and go without that monkey on your back, then you'd be truly free. Say, damn, I was looking forward to you helping me find my place. Those resources are still available. I got, Ruth is on my website. She can definitely assist with that. Damn, I thought this was basically like the channel that showed people all about how to get to and live in Merida. I am interested in seeing what the next place you choose is. Your videos along with Jose's are the ones that made me think Merida might be a real spot. I hope you go to Paraguay. They don't have as many English speakers, but it is definitely cheaper than Mexico. It's one of the best and safest countries in South America. I'd go check it out myself if I didn't have to travel back and forth a lot. The trips back are very long from Paraguay. Take a look at Uruguay too. It's a bit more expensive, but it's still cool. Neither one of those countries have the same level of nightlife that places like Mexico have. Spain is beautiful too. Healthcare in Spain and Uruguay is top notch. $1 billion Dan. so I think that is about it. So, listen, we're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna keep you updated. We're gonna update you. We're gonna share, talk about homes, and show you rentals so you can get an idea what you can get for your money, whether you're renting or buying. We're gonna make some local contacts there. So if you decide you want to make a move there, we'll provide you with some resources of people and contacts to reach out to help you get that done. So looking forward to this new phase, and my goal, I hope it's my hope for you that you also get outside of your comfort zone and go explore, see what's out there, try some new things, and just enjoy life, because we only got it once. And I probably have less years in front of me than I do behind me, and so I just want to make sure that I enjoy my time that I got left. So thank you for watching. If you have questions, if you'd like to talk, book a telephone consultation on the website, moveabroadandthrive.com. Links are in the comments and in the description area. Join our VIP group. Take a look at our academy, help you plan your trip. And like I say, the most important thing is understanding why you're moving to another country, because it's difficult in itself to stay. So you got to have a very strong why to make something like this work. So thanks for watching.